In the vast reaches of the Orion Arm, humanity's first meeting with alien life came as a shock. The Kerith Imperium, insects that looked like giant mantises with shiny black outer shells, had been watching Earth for many years. They waited patiently until humans built ships that could travel faster than light and left their home solar system. Commander Juwu Park stood on the bridge of the Earth Space Force ship Horizon *. She was the first human to officially meet aliens. The Kerith ambassador towered over her, its many limbs moving in complex patterns as it spoke. Its voice came through a translator box, sounding scratchy and harsh. "Humans are primitive mammals," the ambassador said. Its large, faceted eyes stared down at Juwu without blinking. "The galaxy has rules. New species serve old species. This is the way." Juwu felt her heart race but kept her face calm. The crew behind her shifted nervously at their stations. Through the main viewport, the massive Kerith ship hung against the blackness of space, at least 5 times larger than the Horizon *. "The Imperium welcomes Earth to Galactic society," the ambassador continued. "Your planet will provide us with metals, rare minerals, and workers. We will guide your development. This is an honor." Juwu's hands tightened on the command console until her knuckles turned white. She thought of Earth's long history, of all the times stronger nations had tried to control weaker ones. Humanity had learned these lessons the hard way. "Ambassador," she said carefully, "Earth thanks you for this welcome. We look forward to learning about galactic society. However, we must discuss these terms with our leaders." The Kerith's mandibles clicked together rapidly. "There is nothing to discuss. This is how things are done. Newer species serve. Older species rule." Lieutenant Junho Kim, Juwu's second-in-command, whispered, "Commander, their weapons systems just powered up." Juwu nodded slightly. "I understand, Ambassador. May I ask how many other species are part of the Imperium?" 12 serve us now. Soon 13. The Kerith's translator couldn't convey emotion well, but the alien's body language showed pride. Some tried to resist. They learned quickly. The Kerith are patient teachers. Juwu smiled thinly. "We humans are stubborn students." Back on Earth, emergency meetings began as soon as the Horizon * sent its first reports. In Seoul, Washington, Moscow, Beijing, and every other capital, leaders gathered to discuss this threat from the stars. In orbit around Earth, more Kerith ships appeared. They were sleek and dangerous, clearly built for war. Earth's small fleet of space vessels looked tiny and weak beside them. On the Horizon *, Juwu received new orders from Earth Command. She read them twice, took a deep breath, and called for another meeting with the Kerith ambassador. "The people of Earth have considered your offer," Juwu said when the towering insect appeared on her ship again. "We must respectfully decline. Earth wishes to join galactic society as equals, not servants." The Kerith made a sound that the translator didn't catch. Its body shook slightly. "This is not an offer that can be declined, human. It is simply how things are. Your weapons cannot harm our ships. Your planet has no defenses against us." "Perhaps," Juwu said calmly, "but humans have never responded well to bullies. We will not start now." "Bullies." The translator seemed to struggle with the word. "I do not understand this term." "Someone who uses strength to force others to do what they want," Juwu explained. "Throughout our history, humans have fought against such people. Sometimes we lost. Often we won. But we always fought." The Kerith's mandibles clicked rapidly. "Then you will be taught respect. You have 1 Earth day to reconsider. After that, we will destroy one of your cities as a demonstration." After the ambassador left, Junho approached Juwu. "Commander, Earth's defenses aren't ready. We can't win a fight against their technology." Juwu nodded grimly. "I know, but history shows that giving in to demands like these only leads to worse treatment later. If we're going to lose either way, I'd rather lose fighting." She looked out at the stars, thinking of all the human stories about standing up to powerful enemies. David and Goliath, the 300 Spartans, countless tales of the weak finding ways to defeat the strong. Send a message to all Earth ships, she said. Tell them to prepare for combat, and ask Command to broadcast a message to all humans. We've met bullies before. We've survived them before. We'll survive these too. As the Horizon prepared for what might be its final battle, Jumu wondered if somewhere among the stars there might be allies, other species who had also refused to bow to the Kerith. If humans survived this first contact, finding such friends would be their next mission. For now, though, humanity stood alone against the Kerith Imperium. Their odds were terrible, but as Ju reminded her nervous crew, humans had faced terrible odds many times before. We don't know much about space yet, she told them as they prepared their ship for battle. But we know a lot about bullies, and one thing is certain, humans don't tolerate them. News about the Kerith demands spread fast. All over Earth, people watched their screens with worry as images of the large alien ships appeared above major cities. The United Nations called an emergency meeting in New York. Leaders from every country rushed to attend. General Do-Yeon Kim stood before the Security Council, his face grim as he pointed to the large screen behind him. It showed the Kerith fleet in Earth orbit. Our situation is not good, he said plainly. The Kerith have more than 50 warships. We have only 5 space vessels with weapons. Their ships are bigger and stronger. Their weapons could destroy our cities in minutes. The room fell silent. Defense Minister Jae-Won Cho spoke next. We've studied the scans from the Horizon *, she said. The Kerith technology is far beyond ours. Their shields can easily block our strongest weapons. It would be like throwing rocks at a tank. President Subin Lee listened to all reports without speaking. She was a small woman, barely over 5 feet tall, but her presence filled the room. When all advisors had finished, she slowly stood. What are our options? She asked. Admiral Hyun Soo-ba cleared his throat. We could agree to their terms and hope they treat us fairly. Many lives would be saved in the short term. And in the long term? President Lee asked. History suggests that surrender to such demands usually leads to harsher treatment over time, said Dr. Yumhe Kang, the chief historian. Once a power knows you will submit, they typically demand more. President Lee nodded. Throughout human history, we have faced those who believe their strength gives them the right to rule others. We have learned that giving in to such bullies only encourages them. She looked around the room, meeting the eyes of each council member. I propose we reject the Kerith demands and prepare to defend ourselves. We may not win, but surrender guarantees we lose everything that makes us human. Our freedom, our dignity, our right to choose our own path. The vote was quick and unanimous. Earth would fight. Back on the Horizon Commander Ju Park received her new orders with a steady hand. She asked for another meeting with the Kerith ambassador. The huge insect-like alien arrived with 4 guards, all carrying weapons. They towered over Ju and her officers in the meeting room. Earth has made its decision, Ju said calmly. We thank the Kerith Imperium for their offer, but we must decline. Earth wishes to join Galactic Society as an independent world. The ambassador's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sound the humans would later learn meant amusement or mockery. You primitives think you have a choice, the translator box crackled. You do not. The Kerith Imperium has ruled this sector for 10,000 years. 12 species serve us. Soon Earth will be the 13th. We understand your power, Ju replied. But humans value freedom above all else. We would rather fight and lose than live as slaves. The translator struggled for a moment with the ambassador's response, then said, You will not just lose, human. You will be broken. Your cities will burn. Your leaders will beg for mercy. Ju felt cold inside but kept her face neutral. Perhaps, but humans have faced terrible odds before. Sometimes we surprise ourselves. and our enemies. The ambassador's large compound eyes stared at her. You primitives have one planetary rotation to reconsider your foolish decision. After that, we will show you the consequences of defiance. After the aliens left, Lieutenant Junot approached Juwu. Commander, what is our plan? We can't win this fight. Juwu looked at the tactical display showing Earth's tiny fleet versus the massive Kareth armada. Maybe not with direct force. But humans have always been good at finding other ways to win. Down on Earth, scientists and military experts worked around the clock. They studied every bit of data collected about the Kareth ships, looking for any weakness. Engineers modified Earth's weapons, hoping to make them more effective against alien technology. President Lee addressed the world, her calm voice reaching billions of worried people. Throughout our history, humans have faced threats from those who seek to dominate others. Today we face such a threat from beyond our world. The road ahead will be difficult, but I ask all nations to stand together. We will not surrender our freedom. We will show these Kareth that humans do not bow to bullies, no matter where they come from. As Earth prepared for possible attack, Juwu and her crew on the Horizon made their own plans. They were directly in the path of the Kareth fleet, the first line of defense. We may not survive this, Juwu told her crew honestly, but every moment we hold them back gives Earth more time to prepare. Remember, we fight not just for ourselves, but for the right of all humans to live free. As the deadline approached, the Kareth ships began to move into attack formation. On the Horizon's bridge, Juwu watched the tactical display with steady eyes. Weapons ready, she ordered. Shield generators at maximum. Let's show these aliens that humans don't scare easily. Just hours before the Kareth deadline, a strange ship appeared in Earth's orbit. It was unlike anything humans had ever built. Sleek and silver, with no visible engines or weapons, it moved with impossible grace between the Earth fleet and the Kareth warships. On the bridge of the Horizon Commander Juwu Park and her crew stared at their screens in confusion. It's not one of ours, Lieutenant Junot confirmed. And the design doesn't match Kareth technology either. They're broadcasting a message, said Communications Officer Minji. I'm not sure what language this is, but our computers are translating it. A soft voice came through the speakers. Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Novali Collective. We come in peace and offer help in your time of need. The Kareth fleet immediately surrounded the new ship, weapons charge. The Kareth ambassador sent an angry message to both the newcomers and the Horizon. This is Kareth space. The Novali have no business here. The silver ship responded calmly. We request an emergency meeting with both human and Kareth representatives. This concerns galactic law and the rights of emerging species. Within an hour, a strange meeting took place aboard a neutral Earth space station. Commander Juwu represented humanity. The Kareth ambassador brought 2 armed guards. From the silver ship came Ambassador Tai of the Novali. Tai was unlike any being the humans had ever imagined. Smaller than a human child, with skin that changed colors like flowing rainbows. Instead of speaking, Tai communicated through patterns of light that pulsed across their body. A small device translated these light patterns into human language. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting. Tai's lights flickered, and the translator spoke. We have watched your situation with great concern. The Kareth ambassador's body shook with anger. The affairs between the Imperium and Earth are not your concern, light speaker. Tai turned to Juwu, ignoring the Kareth's outburst. Commander Park, the Kareth have lied to your people. There is no galactic law requiring new species to serve as vassals. The Imperium has used this falsehood for centuries to bully developing worlds into submission. The Kareth ambassador's exoskeleton darkened to a deep black color. The Novali have no authority here. We have recorded evidence of 12 cases where the Kareth have used this same tactic. Ta continued calmly. We are taking this evidence to the Galactic Council, the true governing body of our shared space. The Kareth are violating council laws with their actions here. Juwu looked between the two aliens, trying to understand this new situation. There's a galactic council, with laws that protect new species like us. Yes, Ta's lights pulsed gently. All species have the right to develop without interference. The Kareth know this, but they operate in regions where they think the council isn't watching. The Kareth ambassador slammed a clawed limb on the table. Enough. The council is weak. The strong rule, as they always have. Earth will submit or be destroyed. This is why we have come, Ta said to Juwu, not just to expose Kareth lies, but to offer alliance to humanity. After the meeting, Ta came aboard the Horizon to speak privately with Earth's leaders. Using advanced communication technology, President Lee and her council could see and hear everything as if they were in the same room. The Novali Collective consists of 7 species, Ta explained. We have advanced technology, medical knowledge and science that could help Earth greatly. What we lack is your fighting spirit. I don't understand, President Lee said. You have ships and technology far beyond ours. Surely you could defeat the Kareth yourselves. Ta's skin rippled with colors that somehow conveyed sadness. The Novali physiology makes us poor warriors. Our bodies cannot handle the stress of combat. We are scientists, artists, healers, not fighters. For too long, we have watched the Kareth bully other worlds while we could only document their crimes. And now, Juwu asked, now we offer Earth a true alliance. We will share our technology, our knowledge, our protection. In return, we ask for your help in finally standing up to the Kareth. Humans have something rare in the galaxy, courage in the face of overwhelming odds. In the next hours, Earth's scientists examined the technology Ta offered to share. It was far beyond anything humans had developed. Shields that could withstand Kareth weapons, communication systems that worked across vast distances, medical advances that could save millions of lives. President Lee called for another vote of the Security Council. This time, the decision was more difficult. Trust these new aliens, or face the Kareth alone. If we accept their help, General Kim pointed out, we might actually have a chance against the Kareth. Without it, we face certain defeat. But can we trust them? Asked Defense Minister Cho. We know nothing about these Novali. In the end, President Lee made the final decision. Throughout human history, we have learned that standing together against bullies is more effective than standing alone. I believe we should accept the Novali offer. Back on the Horizon Juwu and Todd watched as engineers from both species began modifying Earth's ships with Novali technology. The Kareth fleet remained in position, waiting for their deadline. They still outnumber us, Juwu noted. Ta's body glowed softly. Yes, but now the fight will be fair. And from what we've observed of humans, you have a remarkable ability to win even when the odds seem impossible. For the first time since the Kareth arrived, Juwu felt a spark of real hope. The Kareth deadline passed at noon Earth time. Their great fleet of warships moved toward Earth with weapons charged. Even with the Novali's help, the human ships looked small and weak compared to the Kareth armada. In the main control room beneath Seoul, Captain Minho Hand didn't watch the approaching fleet. Instead, he stared at lines of code on his screen. Around him, 30 of Earth's best computer experts worked side by side with 5 Novali technicians. The Kareth systems are complex, said a Novali named Lim, whose skin flashed with blue and green lights. But they have one weakness. They never expected anyone to try to break into their network. Minho nodded. For 3 days, he had barely slept. The Novali had given his team special tools to understand Kareth technology. What they found surprised everyone. It's like an anthill, Minho explained to President Lee during their last briefing. The Kareth society is completely top-down. Every soldier must receive orders from above. No one makes decisions on their own. And how does this help us? The president asked. Cut off the head, and the body doesn't know what to do. Minho said simply. Now, as the Kareth ships entered firing range, Minho's team made their final preparations. The plan was risky. If it failed, Earth would have no defense against the coming attack. Aboard the Horizon Asterisk, Commander Juwu Park watched the Kareth fleet approach. Thanks to Novelli shields, her ship now had some protection, but the enemy still outnumbered them greatly. "They're broadcasting," said Lieutenant Juno. "They want everyone on Earth to hear this." The harsh voice of the Kareth commander filled the bridge. "People of Earth, you have rejected our generous offer. Now witness the price of defiance." Juwu checked the time. "Are Minho's team ready?" "They just sent the signal," Juno confirmed. "Everything is in place." Juwu took a deep breath. "Then let's show these bullies how humans respond to threats. All ships, move to attack position Alpha." Earth's small fleet, now enhanced with Novelli technology, moved toward the Kareth Armada. It looked like suicide. A handful of ships against 50 massive warships. The Kareth commander's voice boomed again. "Your pathetic defense amuses us. Watch as we—" Suddenly, the transmission cut off. For 3 crucial seconds, silence filled all channels. Then, on every frequency the Kareth had been using, a new message played. It began with President Lee speaking in Korean. Then other voices joined. World leaders, ordinary citizens, children and elders. Each spoke in their own language, but all said the same thing. "We don't negotiate with bullies." This message repeated over and over, flooding Kareth communication systems. At the same time, Minho's team launched their main attack. Deep in their underground center, the hackers and Novelli technicians sent specially designed code into the Kareth network. The code jumped from ship to ship, blocking communications between commanders and their crews. In space, the Kareth fleet suddenly seemed to hesitate. Some ships continued forward while others stopped or changed direction, creating confusion. "It's working," Juno shouted on the Horizon's Asterisk bridge. "Their formation is breaking down." Juwu didn't waste the opportunity. "All ships, target the command vessels as planned. Focus all fire on the designated points." The human Novelli fleet didn't try to fight the entire Kareth Armada. Instead, they aimed for just 3 ships that Minho's team had identified as command centers. With pinpoint accuracy, their weapons struck the exact spots where the Kareth communication systems were located. On the largest Kareth ship, the commander raged as his screens went dark. "Restore communications," he ordered. His subordinates rushed to obey. But without guidance from their leader, the captains of other ships didn't know what to do. Some Kareth ships fired wildly, hitting other Kareth vessels by mistake. Others held position, waiting for orders that never came. The carefully planned attack fell apart in minutes. Back on Earth, Minho's team cheered as they watched the results of their work. "The Kareth never imagined we could do this," Lim the Novelli said, lights flashing with excitement. "They thought technology alone wins wars. They forgot that innovation comes from thinking differently." The battle lasted only 40 minutes. Without their command structure, the Kareth couldn't fight effectively. 7 of their ships were damaged by friendly fire. 3 more, including the command vessels, were disabled by the focused attacks from Earth's fleet. When communications were finally restored, the Kareth commander found himself in a very different situation. Half his fleet was damaged or confused. The humans had proven far more dangerous than expected. And now a Novelli cruiser had arrived carrying representatives of the Galactic Council. "This conflict is over," announced the Council representative to both sides. "The Kareth Imperium has violated Council law by threatening an emerging species. You will withdraw immediately and face sanctions." On the Horizon Asterisk, Juwu watched as the Kareth fleet slowly began to pull back. No human ships had been destroyed. Earth had stood against the bullies and won. "We were lucky," Junho said quietly beside her. Juwu shook her head. "Not lucky. We were smart. We didn't try to match their strength. We found their weakness instead." As the Kareth ships disappeared into deep space, cheers erupted across Earth. For the first time, humanity had faced a threat from the stars, and had shown the galaxy that humans would never bow to bullies, no matter how powerful they seemed. 6 months passed after the Battle of Sol. Earth was now part of the wider galaxy. Today was special. For the first time, human representatives would take their seats on the Galactic Council. President Subin Lee led the small group that walked into the great round room. The council chamber was huge, with seats for over 50 different species. Some looked almost human. Others were very strange. Beings made of crystal, floating gas clouds, and creatures with many limbs. Juwu Park, now Admiral Park, walked beside the president. She looked around with wonder. Just half a year ago, humans thought they were alone in the universe. Now they were taking their place among the stars. The Novali ambassador Ta greeted them, skin flashing welcome in bright colors. "This is a proud day for both our peoples," Ta said through the translator. "The alliance between humans and the Novali collective has been good for everyone." President Lee nodded. "Your help saved Earth. We won't forget that." "You saved yourselves," Ta replied. "We only provided tools. Your courage and creativity did the rest." As they took their seats, Juwu noticed the Kareth representatives on the other side of the chamber. The insect-like aliens seemed smaller somehow, less threatening than when they had first appeared above Earth. The Kareth had lost much of their power after the battle. The Council had placed strict limits on their fleet and fined them heavily for breaking galactic laws. "The Kareth still don't understand what happened," Ta said quietly to Juwu. "They had more ships, better weapons, and centuries more experience in space. By all normal measures, they should have won easily." Juwu smiled. They didn't count on human stubbornness. After the council meeting, the human group toured the space station. It was a marvel of technology, home to thousands of beings from across the galaxy. Shops, schools, homes, and parks filled the huge structure. In one recreation area, a small group of human children played. The children of diplomats and scientists. They were the first humans to grow up knowing about alien life. Ambassador Ta stood with an Arxian diplomat, watching the children. The Arxian was tall and thin with 4 arms and gray skin. "Humans are still a mystery to many in the galaxy," the Arxian said. "The story of how they defeated the Kareth seems impossible. Many think it was just luck." Just then, a larger human boy tried to take a toy from a smaller girl. Before anyone could step in, 3 other children rushed over. They stood together, blocking the larger boy's path. After a moment, the boy stepped back and moved away. "You see," Taz's skin rippled with light. "It's in their nature. From their earliest years, humans learned to protect each other from those who would abuse power. They naturally stand together against bullies." The Arxian's eyes widened. Such a simple thing, yet so powerful when applied to galactic politics. Later that day, at a formal dinner, Juwu found herself seated near a Kareth representative. It was awkward at first, but diplomatic rules required politeness. "Your species surprised us," the Kareth said finally. "We have conquered many worlds. None fought back as effectively as Earth." "We weren't trying to conquer you," Juwu pointed out. "We just wanted to be left alone." The Kareth's mandibles clicked softly. "We believe your physical weakness made you natural servants. You are smaller than us, softer, with no natural armor or claws. We fail to understand that your strength isn't in your bodies." Across the table, Ta joined the conversation. "No, their strength is in their unwavering rejection of tyranny, in their ability to work together against common threats." The Kareth seemed to consider this, a lesson we have learned at great cost. As the dinner continued, representatives from many worlds came to meet the humans. Some were curious, others respectful, a few still suspicious. But all had heard the story of how Earth stood up to the mighty Kareth Imperium. "Will you join the Defense Council?" asked a representative of the Drell, a species of amphibian-like beings. "We need species who understand how to protect the weak from the strong." President Lee considered this. Earth is still new to galactic politics. But yes, we would be honored to help ensure that no species faces what we faced. That night, as the human delegation prepared to return to their quarters, Ju stood at a viewport looking out at the stars. So many worlds, so many species, all sharing the same galaxy. Thinking deep thoughts, Admiral, Tai asked, joining her. I'm thinking about how close we came to disaster. Ju said, if you hadn't arrived when you did. But we did arrive. Tai's skin glowed softly. And now the galaxy has a new defender. Word is spreading quickly about the humans who don't tolerate bullies. Ju smiled. It's a simple principle, really. One we've been teaching our children for generations. Sometimes the simplest principles are the most powerful, Tai replied. The Kareth ruled through fear for thousands of years. In just a few days, humans showed the galaxy a better way. As they looked out at the endless stars, Ju felt proud. Humanity had much to learn about this vast new community they had joined. But they also had something valuable to teach. In the great book of galactic history, a new chapter had begun, and one lesson would be written clearly for all species to see. Humans don't tolerate bullies.